Halfland Videos.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Halfland Videos. Today I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what I'm up against, you know, what I have going on with my projects, because I have a ton of parts and I got a lot of stuff to take care of. So I was kind of at a standstill. I didn't know what I wanted to do because I have engine mods, which would be the turbo. I have interior mods, as you can see here, which would be my Kirky racing seat, aluminum seat. Waiting for the bracket and stuff to get in here. I got gauge pod. I got a triple gauge pod. I got oil pressure gauges, oil temp, and then I have a boost gauge. This right here is my J32 A3, as you can see, very well cleaned up. I went ahead and rehoned it, even though it had 23,000 miles on it. I went ahead and rehoned it, cleaned the cylinders, or cleaned the pistons off and the cylinders, and went ahead and painted it this awesome little gold nugget color. So obviously this flex plate would get removed and it would be replaced with a flywheel, as my car is a manual transmission. But anyways, yeah, so I got this stuff that I need to put in, and I wanted to give you guys a little update and a little grasp of, you know, what I'm really up against. So if you just follow me, man, I'll show you guys everything I got. I don't know if you can see this, but this was a test for the Plasti dip that I'm gonna do my car in, the color. This is the color right here. It looks, I think it looks great. It looks freaking awesome. It's like a weird, like a metallic gray with a bunch of, obviously it's really fucking shiny. It has like a bunch of sparkle flakes in it. And you guys, dude, I didn't clean this thing whatsoever. Literally, it was just full of just shit. It was like that, just nasty. I literally wiped it off real quick, came through, and I just sprayed it. And I just started practicing my form and everything. I wanted to see how the Plasti dip would lay. I wanted to see how it would spray out of the gun, whatnot. How much I needed to reduce it to spray out of my gun, because it has a smaller nozzle on it. But as you can see, man, it came out fucking phenomenal. I think I did like 3 or 4 black base coats, and then I came through with the top coat glossifier with silver metallic in it, I want to say. But I think I did like 3 or 4 of those top coat glossifier, and it came out freaking good, man. As you can see, it peels. It will peel right off. That's it right there. Look at that. It's like a fucking condom. But no, I mean, this stuff's great. So like I said, I just wanted to test it and see how it would look, and I think it's gonna look freaking phenomenal. Also, I will show you the comparison to what my new rims are gonna be like. Ooh, stay tuned. In my pimp ass workshop, got the AC blowing. It is great for Florida weather, Florida summer. I like it, man. It's a nice little, just a little shed. As you can see, I got all my backup tires here. Got more bike tires, a bunch of bike parts. Currently, I am porting the wastegate hole or port. I'm trying to make it bigger, a little smoother, so it evacuates the air properly, and I can regulate boost the way I want. Because this is like a 36 or 38 millimeter, and the wastegate that I have is actually a 44. So like the hole is a lot bigger, and I went with the 44, so obviously it can purge out the extra air and, like I said, regulate boost properly. But it may not be able to do that if this hole is too small. It's great if I have a 44 millimeter or a larger wastegate, but if that hole is not big enough, it's not smooth enough, and the air doesn't pass through it quick enough, I'm gonna get boost spikes. I'm gonna overboost, and if I overboost, I could potentially blow my engine, because I'm still gonna be running a stock fuel pump at first, and I'm hopefully will be running about 8 pounds. This is all, so this is literally all turbo shit right here. You got piping. This is all turbo shit right here. I forget what the fuck's in here. Forget what's in there. I think these are yeah, this says double clamp, so these are gonna be oh my god, what the fuck are they called? Oh, those are gonna be the V clamps. Obviously heat wrap. I got, this is my blow off valve right there, which is a nice neochrome. I got my wastegate over here. Oh shit. And I'm gonna go hard lines on everything. So I got the tile wastegate. Here's the spring, and at the moment the only spring it has in there is this spring right here. From what I've heard, what I've seen, this is an 8-pound, or what I was told, this is an 8-pound spring. Is it? I don't know. I've put air to it off of my compressor and it did not open up at 8 pounds. It opened up closer to 15 or 20. So that could be a serious fucking problem. But I will just have to be like an eagle eye on the boost gauge or the Han data that I'm going to have open whenever I push it into boost. So that's it right now. You got other parts in here. You got the V clamp. Why do I feel like I'm saying that wrong? V clamp? Yeah, the V clamp. So here it is, and you can see here. So this is an adapter. This is a 44. That's the 44 right there. And this is a 44. That's a 44 adapter to a 38. So this is a 38 to 44 adapter. All right. So it goes on there. 38, obviously at the bottom, to 44. 44 out. So that's what it's gonna look like, man. It's gonna be fucking beast. I can't wait, dude. I cannot wait. Look at this thing. I mean, that alone is just fucking sex. This is money. And then in there, I oiled up, I greased up the valve. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, so I can push it in. I can push it by myself with my finger to open it up. But man, it's freaking hard. I don't know if that's... I don't know, man. That's a lot of fucking pressure. I would think it would open up easier. You're telling me that there's gonna be that much pressure in the line to open it up? I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Yeah, I might just end up going on tile and buying a new spring just to be safe, you know, that I 100% know that it's gonna boost to that 8 pounds like I want and not over boost, because that could be a serious issue. Or with the size of the turbo that I'm running, it's not gonna see boost probably until like 4,500, because I'm running a 69 68 Turbonetics. It's a journal bearing, but it's a billet wheel. So yeah, it's not gonna see boost to at least 4,500. So I might just push it like I always fucking do and see what happens, and then just back off of it, you know, if I see it starting to. So like I said, that's that. Just porting that out, starting to look a lot better in there. It was terrible, man. The transition was god awful. I don't know if you can see it here. It was like that. Look at that lip. But it's okay because it's coming from here out this way. It's not coming that way and then hitting that little lip there. But what's next is this.
See what that says right there? That would be inky. RPF 1s, 17 by 9, 114.3, 5, which is the holes, plus 22 offset.
These are so light. They're 16.35 pounds, where my Rotatorx right now are actually considered to be relatively a light wheel at 19.5. So at 19.5 pounds, these are 16.35. So I'm taking about 3 pounds plus off rotating mass per corner. It said 1 pound of rotating mass is the equivalent of, some people say 10, I've heard as high as 20. So if we put that at 15, we cut it in the middle. You guys, I'm reducing weight from like about 150 pounds to 200 pounds of dead weight. So 1 pound of rotating mass is equivalent to 10 to 20 pounds of dead weight. So you do that 3.25 pound per corner. It's around 150 to 200 pounds of dead weight I'm taking off the vehicle just by putting these putting these babies. Oh my god, they're like sex. And look how easy they are to pick up. Let's try that again. Alright, so I can literally just hold them out like this. No real struggle. Yeah, it has a little bit of weight to it. It is 16 pounds I'm holding straight out, but man, if you look at them, oh yeah, got that nice little deep dish that I love. I would not go any further than plus 30, which I have now in my Rotatorx, and the Rotatorx actually look like they have more, I guess, concave to them than these, because these are just a different way they sit in. But man, they look freaking awesome. Oh, and what I wanted to show you I wanted to show you the colors between my wheels and what the car will look like. There you go. This is gonna be the difference. So, man, I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but there is so much fucking metallic flake on that grill. It is incredible. I don't even know how to explain it, man. It looks like fucking fairy dust. But anyways, that's what it's gonna look like. I got my wheel there, my RPF1, and the dip that my car is gonna be dipped in. And I've done the math. I can dip my car 3 to 4 times at the price I can dip, or at the price I can paint my car for, at a relatively good price, which is like $1,000, $1,200 for them to just simply respray with really good paint and do all the correct masking and whatnot. I can dip the car, I think 2 to 3 is actually, but, or yeah, 3. So at 3, I mean, dip will last between up to 7 years if you take really good care of it, but I would say probably 4 to 5, and then you'll start to see it start peeling and shit, but then you just peel it off and respray. So this is what it's gonna look like, guys. I think it's gonna look great. That dark charcoal gray metallic with the silver Enki RPF1s. It's gonna look good. And you know you're buying a quality wheel just the way they come packaged. Look at that. It comes with that cover, that fabric cover for the wheel. It comes packaged like this. It does have a valve stem. It has its own valve stem, which is nice. It's a screw-on type. You just put it in there and then screw it on. That's that. So within the turbo stuff, obviously I have piping and all that, but here's my turbo blanket from Thermal Zero. It's a T4 blanket because I am running a T4 trim turbo. Here's the turbo. She is a big bitch. There she is. God, it's so, I'm sorry, man, but this is sexy to me. Look at that. Oh, so tight. So it's never been ran. Everything is just 100% perfect. Super tight. Obviously, as the more you run it, the more freely this will, the compressor wheel will spin. But there she is, man. Turbonetics, it's a 69, 68, so it's 69 on the compressor side, 68 on the turbine side, or the exhaust side. I already got my fittings, my 3N attached, so you don't run a, not an oil reducer, is it a reducer? Restrictor, oil restrictor. So you don't run a restrictor on these with the journal bearings. Restrictors are usually only for ball bearing. Because they require a lot less oil, where if you don't put a restrictor, you're gonna burn oil through the turbo, where the journal bearings require a lot more oil, but the way you reduce it or restrict it is by running just a 3N or 3AN line on it. And so there she is. That's her. And then I got another 3AN, which I'm gonna be running the boost reference off of for the wastegate. And once again, there's the turbine wheel, you guys. Beautiful. Something else that's required: intercooler. So this is a 600 horsepower intercooler. I'm hoping to see 500, 600. Honestly, I think 600 is the limits for this J30, especially at 200,000 miles. I think you might make 600 for like one pull. You may make it for one time and then that would be it. I'm sure the next pull your motor will tell you that it's done and it will send a rod through the block. 400 easily achievable. I've shown that. I've ran close to 400 for years. I would be right around 400. I'd be right around 380 if my clutch wasn't slipping on nitrous. But here's the intercooler anyways. Triple core, I forget, whatever, but it's the same side intercooler, so it would actually be turned the other way. Driver's side, I would have all the piping coming in, coming out, and then coming back around to the intake manifold. So that's why I went with the same side. And like I said, it's good up to 600 horsepower. If I start pushing it anything beyond that, which will probably be my J32, once again, I'm probably gonna leave that block completely stock because it has 23,000 miles on it, and I should easily be able to push 500 out of that block as a daily driver, and that's really all that I want. I'm not going for like a super track car or anything. It's going to be a full weight, full interior Honda Accord J Series turbo, right around the 500 mark, and I'm sure that J32 with a few mileage or a few miles, and the cleaning up and the rehoning that I've done, and the heads, the J37 heads over there that I'm going to put on, those are literally all cams. If you guys want a set of cams, hit me up. I got you on the J Series. We can work something out price wise, and I will help you out on the specs, whatever you want. You know, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, let me know and we'll run it. If you need ported runners, I also do runners. I've sold probably about 20-25 of those, all showing great results. You'll get about 10 wheel horsepower out of them. You know, you'll see anywhere between 5 to 15 depending on your setup. Now, you know, if you have other supporting mods, you'll probably get more out of it. But like I said, you'll easily see 5 to 10 out of ported runners, and I do those easily, and I do them the best. I am like, I am not tooting my own horn or anything, but I take my time and I do them perfectly. I gasket match them perfectly. Anyways, yeah, so hit me up if you need either cams or runners for the J Series. So here's the intercooler. All right, like I said, moving on, here was my dilemma. It was either dip or paint the car, dip it, do the clutch install, or do the turbo. Which one did I want to do first? You know, if I dip the car and then I start working on it to do all the turbo and stuff, I'm gonna nick it up probably. So I didn't want to go that route. Turbo, if I install the turbo, then it's gonna be a lot more shit to take off to install the clutch and flywheel. Or, you know, do I keep running out my stock clutch, which is still holding, which is fine. And I'm one to, I hate replacing a part, you know, if there's nothing really wrong with it. At least the wearable, I forgot the word. Or at least the parts that wear, you know. The expendable parts, I guess you would call them. But anyways, here is. Alright guys, so like I said, I was in a dilemma. I didn't know whether if I wanted to dip the car, install the clutch and flywheel, or install the turbo. You know, if I go and install the turbo and I've already dipped the car, it's gonna get scratched or whatnot. So I didn't want to go that route. And then if I install the turbo and then go to install the clutch and flywheel, it's going to be a lot more shit to take off, because you got to take off all the piping, all not the intercooler, but you got to take, maybe the intercooler, but you got to take off all the piping, the turbo, you know, just that shit in general. So what I figured is I'm actually going to do the turbo first, and then my buddy is going to come and we are going to do the clutch and the flywheel. This is a Spec 3 Plus. So a Spec 3 Plus, it actually does away with the stock OEM self-adjusting pressure plate. So as you can see, if you know anything about our clutches, this is different than what a Luke L-U-K clutch will look like. It will have different self-adjusting not spindles, whatever the fuck these are, these little arms, these teeth, where this is a complete redesign. It's stronger, and it will do a lot better. And then on the other side,
other side, here is the lightweight flywheel that comes with it. There she is, man, ready to go. So she's just waiting for me to grow some balls and install it. And if you're wondering about the item codes or whatever, there they are right there, the item numbers for spec. And lastly, what I wanted to show you guys in the upcoming parts, if you saw my last video, I did a complete install on cams. So you might want to check that out if you have any idea or any questions about how the cams install on J series engines. I do a complete tear down and install of my stage 1.5 cams, custom grind. But anyways, when it can't talk right now, in reference to the transmission, this is what I always use: the AMSOIL manual Synchro mesh transmission fluid. And I always change it after doing a clutch or a flywheel, which is not required. It's a dry clutch, which means oil is not going onto the clutch itself like a motorcycle engine. It's a dry clutch, so this sits in the transmission and it lubes all the gears. But I just like doing it at the same time because it just makes everything feel so much better, and plus you have the peace of mind knowing that the fluid's already changed. And I think it takes just under 3, because this is from the last time I did it. As you can see, it takes about 2 3/4. So I went ahead and bought 3 because I would be short with this quarter, obviously. And then lastly, what is this? This is a Phantom Grip LSD block. So this is not the ideal or the best LSD that you can put in, because it's not even an LSD really. What it is just a simple block that slides through your final drive. A lot of Civic guys, you know, B series, D series, all these guys, a lot of them do this. So what it does, it converts your open diff to an LSD block, essentially. This would slide into your final drive between the 2 gears. You got gears here, and then once that's in, you pop these bars off, and these springs on the inside will spring outwards, which in turn will put pressure on the gears, and it will spin both wheels evenly instead of one spinning. Once one starts spinning, you'll have power put to both of them instead of just the one wheel spinning. You know when a guy has an open diff and he does a burnout, only one wheel is spinning. Well, this is going to stop that. This will help a lot more with torque steer. It's going to help a lot more with torque steer and launching the car. I'll be able to get a better 60 foot, because at the moment my best 60 foot was a 2.0. I would love to get into the 1.9s, 1.8s, obviously, because I will just the quicker you can get off the line, the quicker your overall ET will be. So like I said, this will help a lot with my 60 foot. How long it will last, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people, they've said good things about it, so let's run it. It was about $200. Honestly, you could probably get one offline and install it. I think you would have to do a little shaving here. This is like perfect. Like, this is 100% for an Acura TL or Honda Accord. This is literally plug and play. You slide it in and that's it. Where you can buy like the Civic one, which is almost identical, you would just have to shave out a couple things and maybe like the bearing inside of the transmission. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I've heard. So that's that. And you know, down the road, if I can't find an Acura TL transmission with an LSD, I will just end up buying the M Factory LSD, because the M Factory LSD is $700 or $800 opposed to an Acura TL transmissions, which are going for like $1,000 by themselves, and they're used, you know, where you can get a M Factory brand new LSD for about $700. But that's it, you guys. Hope you liked it. If you did, you know, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Hit that bell too. Thank you guys. Take care.
I don't know if you can see that, but this adds to my dilemma. This is Sean Yearwood at P2R Performance. I ordered a chrome moly synchro rings, a set for 3rd and 4th gear. Because I don't know if you know Brent, he has a nearly 1,000 wheel horsepower Accord 7th gen, and what he's found in the transmission making that much power is the synchro rings is the weak point thus far. It's the only thing that he's ever broke in that transmission. So being that I'm going to be pushing 600 and one day I'll be up in the 1,000 horsepower range, I decided to go ahead and order them. They're relatively affordable. I think it was like $200 and something for both of them, which is not bad at all, or I forgot how much it was, but it was relatively inexpensive for the peace of mind that that's the only thing that's breaking in the transmission. So I'm waiting on this, and the reason I don't want to do the clutch yet is because I want to install this at the same time I'm doing the clutch. So what